So the last video in this module, we will talk about arithmetic operator. So we have many operators we want to introduce you. So they are used to perform numeric calculation. For different operators, they have different operand work with them. For operator only have one operand, for example, negative sign. Okay, we make this value become negative. So that's the unary operator. So then you can have binary operator. That means you have two operands. So you see here is negative sign, but here become minus. So 13 minus 7, you have left operand and the right operand. So then we have one special one we call the ternary operator. They combine with the question mark and the colon. So then actually they have three operands. You have one operand before the question mark. That's condition. So if this condition is true, so then they will have the second operand return the value. If the first operand, the condition is false, so then we choose the operand 3. So the ternary operator, or we call this one is the conditional operator, and we will talk about more in the future class. So this ternary operator also called conditional operator. Okay, so exp1 is condition. So here the ternary operator here, the question mark and the colon, we also call conditional operator. They are combined together. So then ex1 actually is a condition statement. So then your ex2 is when this condition x1 is true, then they will return they will choose ex2. Otherwise, if that false, then the ex3 will be choose. But this one we'll talk about more in detail after we talk about the program control. But the arithmetic operator usually will have these three different types. So that's why you can see plus can be addition. Okay, so that's the binary operator. So we can do the calculation, then we assign to the variable. So then you have subtraction, that's the binary operator. Unless you make this minus sign, you want to become the sign operator. Also the same thing, multiplication is the binary operator. Okay, so we have division. Okay, so then we want to introduce you, in case you didn't know that before, the percent sign, we call that modulus operator. The modulus operator, for example, 7 divided by 3. The quotient is 2, right? So then remainder is 1. So that's why here, when you do the modulus, that means they will return the remainder as the value returned. So since we talk about modulus is the remainder, right? So continue, you can see here, you guys maybe wonder, 7 divided by 3 is what? Yeah, the quotient is 2, okay? But you will say 7 divided by 3 actually is 2, then we can have some decimal, right? But one thing is, remember, be careful. When you do the operator, they won't affect data type. Operator won't affect data type. So on the other hand, when you have integer divided by integer, right, your result still only integer. So 7 divided by 3, the quotient is 2. They maybe can have some remainder, but the quotient will only pick the 2. They won't continue to become decimal. The reason is 7 is integer, 3 is integer, so 7 divided by 3, the data type still int. If you really want to have 2 point something something something, right, you can do the other way, is you need to make 7 become decimal number. Then this one, they will become 7 divided by 3 will become 2.333, never finish. Okay, so that's the difference. Operator won't change your data type. So that's why here, so since we do the 7 divided by 3, right? So that's why your value only 2, because int divided by int is int. So here we have more example you can play around. So then I want you to download your example 11. So one thing is you can play with that, how to do the multiplication plus, and you check your result. But also here I want to show you, remember we told you when you define the variable, they are the same data type. You see, I can define the double regular wage. That's one double variable, comma. Then another double variable called base pay rate. You see, where we assign the value. But here you only declare another double variable, right? So then again, comma. Then you have more. Okay. So all those variables we can define, they are all double variable, the same data type. So then we can have multiple variable using the comma to separate. But one thing is, you see at the end, don't forget you have one semicolon as the statement. Yeah, so during the lecture, I may not run all the program to show you, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't. Okay, so you need to always make sure on the video, like I say, I focus on the important thing you need to know. But by yourself, you also need to download all the demo file and run the program. And each PowerPoint slide, you also need to read. So the next couple slides actually is show I told you earlier. When you do the division operator, they perform the integer division if both operand they are integer. So that's why 13 divided by 5 actually is 2. 91 divided by 7 is 13. If you really want them become display the decimal number, you need to make either one. Yeah, you don't need to do both. Yeah, both is fine. Yeah, both. If the both operand are double number, they will display the decimal too. Okay, but you don't have to. Okay, so then as long as one of them they are decimal, they have the floating point. So then after you divide, they will have the floating point. So that's division. Okay, so the same thing for the modulus. Modulus actually they are always divide only for the integer division. So that's why 13 multiplied by 5 you display 3. If you try to multiply decimal number, actually it's an arrow. Okay, so that's why it's arrow. Okay, so we almost finished module 2 video. So I have couple minutes time, so let's finish about the comments. So the comments actually is using to document what your program for. So intended for person read the source code for the program, because sometimes you want to know what is purpose for the program. You want to describe the use for the variable, explain the complex section of the code, and also this one your comment just need to remember. The comment is both for you to remember what your program do, and also in the future when you go to work, your source code may share by your teammate. So sometimes when you're on vacation, you really don't want your teammate bother you. So then you need to have clear comments in your source file. So then they can see your comments and understand what your program do. And the comments, if you want to put the comments in C++, you can do the 2 backslash. Then they will be ignored by the compiler. So that's why you can see this one is comment. Okay, so if you only have one line, you do the double slash. Okay, so the purpose we need to let the user or other people read the program know what the variable for. And you see why you need to do the area equal to length times width, because you want to calculate the area. So that's a simple example. But sometimes your code is much complicated. You definitely you definitely need to give the comment. So the single line comments, we do the 2 backslash. Or sometimes you have a lot to say, right? So then you can using the begin with the backslash, then slash, then asterisk. Then finish with your asterisk and slash. So from here, between these two, is all comments you can put. So that's how we say it's a multiple line comment. So then this one can help you to write a paragraph about what you want to do. So that's about comment. So that's why for your homework assignment or your lab exercise, so you can see sometime in the demo file you run, right? So we go to see the demo file. Okay, I need to log in. That's why you can see sometime in the demo file I provide you. At the beginning, you see we have the comments to tell you what this file for. So you see we have COMSC110 Chapter 2 Example 12 in the file name. So this program is calculated circumference for the circle. So that's why we have the comments. And also you see each variable we define, we tell them the reason why we do each line. So that's some practice you can use for your homework assignment and lab exercise. So for your lab exercise or homework assignment, I want you guys at least at beginning, you should have your program for, and you need to put your name and the student ID in your comments. Also, that's the requirement for your lab exercise and your programming assignment. Yeah, so that's our module 2.